Yeah, hi there. These comments are for, I'm going to just call you CJ, and you completed an integrated speaking practice test. This is the fourth one in our course, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons.
According to the lecture, there were a series
at the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. So let's hear your response.
According to the lecture, there were a series of events happened on Titanic, and it doomed at last. At first,
good introduction. So you said there's a series of events, so you have a pretty clear focus in the beginning.
the day in April 14, 1912 was beautiful. Then as the day went on, the temperature began to drop because of growing ice fields surrounding the Titanic. In the early evening, everything seemed perfect, but something terrible gradually approached.
Now slow down a little bit here, a little bit too fast, believe it or not. It's very unusual. So, I mean, you have enough time, you have 60 seconds to explain really 4 main points, right? So you don't have to be in such a rush. So remember, once you get to the end of an idea, have a short pause, your tone drops, then you move on to the next point.
About 9 o'clock, Captain Smith headed off to bed and told the officer if anything doubtful, let him know at once. At that moment, the sea was still calm and temperature dropped to a chilly degree. Officers stood on crow's nest for looking out anything, but their binoculars were misplaced and the iceberg were invisible. Then officers ignored.
Now wait a minute. You're kind of putting two ideas. You said the binoculars were misplaced and the icebergs were invisible. I would separate those points. Say one important event which caused the ship to sink was it was difficult on the night of the sinking because the sea was calm, which means there were no waves breaking at the base of the iceberg. You need to take time to fully explain that. Once you've done that, then you move to the second point. So, okay, secondly, because the crew members had misplaced the binoculars in Southampton, it would also make it difficult for them to spot the icebergs, at least in enough time for the ship to avoid them.
Note that more ice warning came across wireless room at 11 o'clock. Officer received a warning from California, but he didn't listen to it. From there, the California operator shut off his...
And they ignored those ice warnings, which is a third event, right? That's a third important factor.
...receiver and went to bed. After the fleet became occupied by a hazy mist by 11 o'clock. Officer tried to figure out what it was, but it was too late to realize it was an iceberg. At that time, the bill started warning.
And why was it too late? It was too late because they actually didn't have their binoculars there. It was also too late because the ship was moving at 22.5 knots per hour, which means it would make it difficult for the ship to turn out of the way of these icebergs.
They tried to stop to revise it, but everything is too late. The Titanic hit the iceberg. Finally, it was doomed.
Yes. It hit it. It sure did. Okay, so what do we have? I think you talked about ignoring the ice warnings, I think, which was important. You talked about the ice fields, but you didn't really talk about completely about the iceberg and the water breaking at the base because it was calm. That wasn't happening, which would make it difficult. You didn't mention the fact that the ship was going a little bit too quickly. So I'm going to say you're about 50% there. 50%, you discussed 50% of the most important information, but you didn't mention all the information. And that translates into a weakness with your topic development. So believe it or not, you are speaking in some cases a little bit too quickly. So I'd like to have you take a look at my lessons on thought groups and blending. In the pronunciation part of my course, you can go to pronunciation lessons 41 through 44. Your score here, I'm going to put you at about 2.16 out of 4, 17 points out of 30. On this particular practice test. And if you go to the syllabus to page 9, a 2.16 puts you at 75% on this assignment. So the reason you got the score you did really is because you didn't really fully and completely and accurately explain the most important points from the lecture. That's where you're hurting. So partly I think you had some listening comprehension difficulties and you weren't able to fully explain all those ideas. All right, anyway, thank you very much.